And good morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. I hope your Monday is going at least half as spectacularly as mine is. It's Bubba live in Honolulu, Hawaii, as we start our favorite week of the year, saluting Michigan military stationed away from home. We find ourselves this morning with Ryan Porter, being brought to you by our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor, from sea to shining sea, right here on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country, and Garth Brooks, the Thunder Rolls. Good Monday morning. Hope your day is going well. You found the Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Rowley.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch for the forecast.
Well, pretty sunny again. Highs in the low 70s.
Well, you take that. I'm 80 degrees with some trade winds and a chance of some showers today.
Not a competition, Bubba.
We are live in Honolulu, Hawaii this morning as we celebrate Michigan military from sea to shining sea. It's a week long of broadcasts brought to you by our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor and the VA Medical System Ann Arbor. We're starting in Honolulu today, headed to San Diego tomorrow, Fort Walton Beach on Wednesday, and Virginia Beach on Thursday as we cross from sea to shining sea. And today we're going to be talking with Ryan Porter, and we are in Hawaii. Let's take a quick look at your traffic right now and find out what's going on your drive in Ann Arbor. 102.9 W4 Country and Billy Currington. We are tonight. Hope you're having a great Monday morning so far. It's Bubba live in Honolulu, Hawaii, as we celebrate Michigan military with Bank of Ann Arbor. It's Bubba, Madison Rowley, Brian Welch, and we have Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Oh, the darn Rona, you can't travel with us.
I cannot take the trip this year, but I am, as you can see, in my office, ready to roll with you this morning.
I see you there this morning. We are live on our StreamYard program. That's what it's called. It allows us all to gather right here. Friday after the show, I left, flew for about, with layovers, 15 hours, got into here at about 3:30 in the morning on Saturday morning, and we're doing the show right now. Ryan Porter, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming out and agreeing to be the first day with us.
Absolutely, not a problem.
You're not nervous, are you?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. Let me tell you guys what poor Ryan has to do. You know what a windscreen is?
Yes, we do, yeah.
If you're listening to the radio, the windscreen is the little puffy thing that goes on top of a microphone, and it keeps like when you popping peas and real, hissy S's, it cuts that down. I forgot to pack a windscreen, so my windscreen is a clean sock that I put over the microphone.
That's why it's a sock. I was wondering.
So poor Ryan's getting a sock stuck in his face to talk into this morning.
At least it's clean.
Stuck into my sock.
We're professional here.
We are professional. It's working out just fine. I'm not popping any peas. You improvise on the road, right?
It certainly helped versus our sound test, yeah.
I tell you what, it smells like bounce fabric softener.
It's not a bad idea. I might refresh mine with some Febreze or something.
Yeah, take that, rub
it off, and spray it down.
Well, this is how the show works. We're going to make Ryan the star of the entire morning, find out a little bit about him, what makes him tick, how his road led him to Hawaii, what he does in the military, and basically salute him. Jake Owen right now. This is Homemade on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Jake Owen, Homemade, and the Breakfast with Bubba show, saluting Michigan military all over this great nation of ours from sea to shining sea. It's Bubba, Brian Welch, Madison Rowley, Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor, and Ryan Porter, who's joining us here in Hawaii. Thank you so much. Always awkward when you don't know somebody. This is the first time I've met Ryan. Hey, come to my hotel room, and here we are all crowded around the little desk. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. I actually am glad to be doing it.
Awesome. Now tell us a little bit about what you do in the military.
So my job title is a 35 Mike, which is a human intelligence collector. But for everybody else, and to make it easy, I'm just an interrogator.
Isn't that cool?
You would think that's cool.
I think that is awesome. That is like one of the, we've had fighter pilots on here. You're right up there in the top 5 coolest jobs I've interviewed in the military.
It's only cool when I'm deployed.
Other than that, like, what do you do now? Do you interrogate people here in Hawaii?
I'm not allowed to talk to U.S. citizens, like actually interrogate them. So here in the United States, we are unable to do our job outside of training.
Wow. And what is training? Well, we'll find. I tell you what, that requires its own little break to find out what training is like to become an interrogator. So, what is your day to day here in Hawaii then, if you're not interrogating?
Right now, I'm actually working outside of my job. I'm a night shift supervisor for the U.S. Army Pacific Operations Center.
Very cool. We're going to find out more about Ryan, what he does in the Army as we get through this morning. Live from Honolulu, it's Dan and Shay, and I should probably go to bed. It's 102.9 W4 Country. That's Dan and Shay on 102.9 W4 Country. Good Monday morning. Hope it's going well. It doesn't get much better for me than being live in Honolulu this morning. Bubba and Brian Welch and Madison Raleigh all gathered round. We have Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor joining us on the show as well. Heather, why is this so important to Bank of Ann Arbor to salute our military?
You know, we're so thankful that you've let us sponsor this trip for so many years now. It's just, it's a small thing that we can do to really appreciate the people that are working around the world for us, the rest of us here who are safe and can just, go about our day to day.
Very cool. And I'm so sad that you were not able to travel with me this year.
Me
and Madison,
too.
you weren't able to travel with me. Usually you manage to poke into at least one of these.
Yeah, I didn't really get an opportunity to do that this year, did I?
You sound like you're holding some anger issues about that. I'd love to have.
I'm fine.
I'd love to have you in Hawaii with me.
I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh well, we could have shown it to you in the.
I told you that.
Few hours that
I gave you an opportunity.
That's not new information.
Let's find out what's going on in your drive into work. Madison's got a check on your W4 Country traffic. 102.9 W4 Country, and one of them girls, it's Lee Bryce in the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning, live in Honolulu today as we salute Michigan military from sea to shining sea with Bank of Ann Arbor and the VA Medical System Ann Arbor. It's Bubba with Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
We have Brian Welch with the forecast for today.
We're mostly sunny again, highs in the low 70s.
Boy, I tell you what, this is a just beautiful, perfect Hawaii day. 80, few clouds in the sky, some showers, but that leads to, rainbows. So how much better can it be, right?
I mean, it is pretty beautiful in Hawaii.
Rainbows in Hawaii. Sounds like a good time.
Madison, you need to stop holding this resentment.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Would it be better if I brought you a gift?
Depends on the gift, I guess.
Okay, I guess we could hit a jewelry store or something here in Waikiki before we go.
We might be talking now.
Okay,
Then over for Kahlua.
You'll start hearing a little smile out of Madison's voice. We're here with Ryan Porter, who's an interrogator in the Army, and you live basically your base is right in the middle of Honolulu.
It is. So it's just outside of it.
And where are you from originally?
I grew up in Lincoln Park, Michigan.
Okay, very cool. And how did you decide on going into the Army?
I was working at Village Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, and I really just wasn't going anywhere with my life. I was cleaning cars at the time, and one of my friends at the front desk, he was in the Army Reserves at the time, and he said, "Why don't you come join me?" And I said, "All right." So then I walked into the recruiter's office to be a reserve MP and stay in Michigan and, the car dealership, which I love my job, but it just didn't see a future in myself selling cars or working in a car dealership. And when I walked out of the recruiting station, I was on a plane for Fort Benning, Georgia to be an active duty Army interrogator.
So you went in for the part-time and got talked into the full-time.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense because I'm more of a person who works better behind a desk, and I enjoy air conditioning and the comforts of home. And the recruiter showed me how different that would have been had I chosen to become an MP.
Oh, so you would have been outside in the elements, and now you're just, yeah. Believe me, you don't have to talk anybody into air conditioning like me. I love it. I'm an indoor person for sure. So you go to Fort Benning, Georgia. That's where your initial training was?
It was.
And where'd you end up stationed, first of all?
My first duty station was at Fort Hood, Texas.
Okay, we're going to find out his path, what brought him to Hawaii. Coming up next, Toby Keith right now. I want to talk about me is on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Toby Keith. I want to talk about me. I hope you're having a great Monday morning so far. We are live in Honolulu, Hawaii with Bank of Ann Arbor and our salute to Michigan military, serving from sea to shining sea. And we're with Ryan Porter, who started out in Lincoln Park, was going to go for part-time Army Reserves, got talked into the full-time deal, went to Fort Benning, and then was stationed in Fort Hood. What was it like being in Texas?
Hot.
What's your path been for bases that led you to Hawaii?
Well, I started at Fort Hood. I was there for about 5 years, and then we PCS to Fort Riley, Kansas.
I'm going to stop you right there to find out what we PCS'd means.
Permanent change of station.
Okay, very good.
Ooh. And then after we were at Fort Riley for 3 years, we moved again. I'll use that term. And we ended up in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And we were there for 2 years before they offered us El Paso, Texas, or Fort Riley, Kansas. And my wife absolutely fell in love with Kansas the first time. She wanted to go back to Kansas again. So we went back to Kansas for 3 years. And then we came on orders again for either Fort Huachuca, Arizona, or Honolulu, Hawaii. And who could turn down Hawaii?
No offense to Arizona.
Right.
No offense to Arizona at all, but to hell with them. I'd be on the first plane across the Pacific too. And you absolutely love it here, right?
I absolutely do love it here. I mean, this is one of the happiest I've been in my entire Army career, mainly because this is the one place that doesn't make me go to the field and I get to come home at a decent time. But I mean, Hawaii's beautiful as well.
Yeah, I've yet to meet anybody that's gone to Hawaii and said, I hate it there, except perhaps Ryan's wife. We'll chat with her in just a moment
Oh.
and why she's not real hype with this. Heather, have you ever been to Hawaii?
I have once, and it's beautiful.
It is. It's the only place I've ever been where the air has like this sweet smell to it. When you walk off the plane, just you could blindfold me and just have me smell, and I would know I was in Hawaii. Walt, you've been here, right?
Yeah.
How did you walk around without bursting into flames in the sun?
Oh, I was reapplying sunscreen every 15 minutes or so, I think.
Which islands did you visit?
We went to the Big Island and Kauai, I think.
Okay. Did you ever hang out here in Oahu with like Pearl Harbor and all that? Did you see that?
Yes, yeah, we did. We did make it to the Pearl Harbor Memorial and everything.
Very cool. More with Ryan coming up in a little bit. We are live in Hawaii. Thank you so much to Bank of Ann Arbor for sponsoring this week of broadcasts. Let's find out what's going on your driving to work. Madison Raleigh has a check on your traffic. Florida Georgia line on 102.9 W4 Country and the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Hawaii with Ryan Porter as we celebrate Michigan military from sea to shining sea. And Ryan was saying that his favorite duty station of all is here in Hawaii. I would move to Hawaii in a heartbeat. Like this is retirement for me. This is my goal for retirement, to be in these islands. They're just absolutely beautiful. My favorite place on earth. Jody, Ryan's wife, good morning.
Good morning.
You like being an Army wife?
I love it.
Except you don't like where you're stationed.
Correct.
What do you not like about Hawaii?
It's very far from home and it's very expensive.
I'll give you the very expensive part. Yeah, it's
true.
it's a whole different type of expensive here.
Yes, and with 3 kids, one's a teenager, one's almost a teenager, and then a 9-year-old. Yes, it's very, very expensive. Food, everything is expensive.
Do you like the food over here?
No.
No. You know what?
She's all
Madison,
spammed out, huh?
you know what I had this morning for breakfast, and I love McDonald's breakfast, and I love McDonald's breakfast in Hawaii because here they serve Spam, eggs, and rice for breakfast.
That sounds pretty good right now.
That's what I had.
I'd try it.
We're on video right now. Let me reach into my hotel refrigerator and pull out for you what I have in here for lunch today. It's a Spam musubi. You see that?
Oh, my.
That's interesting.
It's rice and Spam wrapped in seaweed.
I bet it tastes better than it looks.
Better than it sounds, too.
Right.
Have you ever had one of these things?
I've tried.
You don't like?
I do not like. We don't have that in Michigan.
Oh, man, I love the Spam musubi. We'll get that going on. That'll be my lunch when the show is over for sure. Let's see. Where are we? Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, Happy Anywhere. It's 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Happy Anywhere. It's Blake Shelton and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We're live in Honolulu with Ryan Porter. Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor on the show, and it's so sad to just be looking at you on a screen right now.
I know. I miss our days last year and all over the world.
We did. We literally went around the world last year. This year it's a domestic trip. Happy to be doing it though. I'm so thrilled with everything going on. Like this was kind of a last minute decision to do this because originally, our company policy didn't allow for travel. Your company policy, Heather, doesn't allow for travel. So ours, They finally loosened up a little bit, and here we are.
I'm just glad that we were still able to sponsor you going on it. So I'm glad that your side could go somewhere. I'm just happy that we can at least be a sponsor and here in some way.
Yeah, so thrilled to have Bank of Ann Arbor back on board. We're here with Jody, and being an Army wife, we always say the family is a big part of the story with all the moving around and things like that. Do you enjoy that part of the life?
I do. I get what they call the 3-year itch. I'm ready to move every 3 years.
How long are you in Hawaii? How long are you here for?
We are hoping to leave next summer before our kids start. My oldest starts high school.
And where are you hoping to go?
Back to Fort Riley, Kansas.
And if you could see the determination on her face, I have no doubt that they will end up back in Fort Riley, Kansas after this. Let's take a quick break. Madison Rally hanging out and checking local traffic. What's going on? Hey, good morning. It's just after 7 o'clock on a Monday as we start my favorite week of the Breakfast with Bubba show, saluting Michigan military stationed away from home. This year, the trip looks a little different. We're in these great United States, and we're talking to Ryan Porter today, live in Honolulu, Hawaii, brought to you by our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor, from sea to shining sea on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country, and Luke Combs loving on you. Good morning. Hope your Monday is spectacular. It's a Breakfast with Bubba show with Bubba and Madison Rally.
Good morning.
I miss you, Madison.
No, you don't.
I really do.
Oh, it's lies.
I tried to text you from the plane flying
I
over
didn't
here.
answer. You tried to call me from the plane, didn't you?
I did try to call you from the plane. You ignored that too.
I did.
I was breaking FAA rules and you totally ignored me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't want you to get in trouble, honey.
Oh, stop. You'd love for me to get in trouble because then you'd get the call to come here.
Yeah, right. Okay.
They're going to put you in airplane jail.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what the consequences, but if you try to call from Facebook, you can do it in an airplane. It's Brian Welch who has the forecast for today.
Pretty sunny again, highs in the low 70s.
And if you're wondering what it is in Honolulu, we're at 80 degrees today with some good trade winds. We have some scattered showers, which is every day in Hawaii, but that's just enough to bring out the rainbows, Madison.
I'm so happy for you. I hope it's beautiful.
Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor, do you have any ideas how to get a smile in Madison's voice this morning?
I think you might have to revisit that jewelry store. I think that could lead to something.
Madison,
Send you some examples if you're interested.
Are these pictures you keep texting me is what you want?
Sure, yeah.
We are here with Ryan Porter, who is in the Army, and you're it's not called interrogator, it's a human
intelligence collector.
A human intelligence collector. We're going to find out what the training is like to become a human intelligence collector coming up in just a little bit. We are in my favorite week of broadcasts that we do every single year. We're going from sea to shining sea. Starting out today in Honolulu. Tomorrow we'll be in San Diego. Wednesday we'll be in Fort Walton Beach. And Thursday in Virginia Beach. Right now, Madison Rally has a check on your W4 Country traffic. 102.9 W4 Country and Jason Aldean, a little more summertime in the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu with Ryan Porter, who is in the Army, and he's a human intelligence collector.
That is correct.
An interrogator.
Yes.
How did you go from cleaning cars to being an interrogator? What is the training like for that?
It's 21 weeks in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and it consists of the first 14 weeks are interrogation-based training where they teach you all the tactics and tips that I'm not allowed to talk about online or on air. And a lot of it is with the stuff that happened in Abu Ghraib. They focus a lot on make sure that we, honor the Geneva Conventions and treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated. So we have different methods of, getting information without causing harm to anybody.
Can you look at me in the eyes and tell if I'm lying?
I'm not that good. There's probably a few of us that can, but I'm not one of them.
Madison just assumes everything I say is a lie.
Oh, I know everything is.
Oh, will you stop?
I have my own tactics I use.
My favorite standby, the foreign operative says what?
So you actually got a chance to use this in the field. He was deployed to Iraq, and we'll hear about that after Ashley McBride. This is One Night Standards on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Ashley McBride, One Night Standards, and the Breakfast with Bubba show being brought to you by our friends at Bank of Ann Arbor and the VA Ann Arbor Healthcare System. We're here with Ryan Porter, who is an interrogator with the Army, and you've been deployed a couple times.
I have. I've been deployed twice.
Where?
Both to Iraq, both times.
What went through your mind when you got that notice that you were going to Iraq?
Well, when because long story short, I was supposed to deploy the first time, and less than a day before, I got pulled off the deployment, which was probably one of the hardest things ever, because at that time we were already set to go. Everybody was emotionally ready. We had our stuff in storage, and they told us that I wasn't going, and we had to we drove from Texas to Michigan and back in less than 2 days, and unpacked our lives from storage. And so when they finally told me that I was deploying in 2007, it was actually a bit of relief to finally get on that plane.
A bit of relief to get on a plane to Iraq.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it like when you touched down there? I mean, was it right to work, or do they like teach you about the country a little bit once you get there? I mean, what's that like?
Well, you touch down in Kuwait first, and you have 2 weeks of, because the temperature changed from Texas. Even though we left in the summer, it was still about 20 degrees hotter, because Kuwait is about 130 in the summertime. And so you have 2 weeks of like heat immersion training where they acclimate your body to the weather. And then with our job, we have 2 weeks of, before we're even allowed to talk to people, we have to go through a specific, like they call it right seat, left seat, where I had to sit in the booth with an actual interrogator and watch him work for 10 times. And then after that was over, I had to do it 10 times with somebody watching me before I was allowed to be certified to do it on my own.
And this isn't like TV detective where you see it and you're talking directly to the suspect. Everything's going through a translator too, right?
Yes, for the most part. There are a few of us that, because in our job, we are authorized to have a language, but I have not been afforded the opportunity to go to DLI to learn a language.
Very cool. Fascinating. More with Ryan coming up in a little bit. Right now, Hardy, it's One Beer on 102.9 W4 Country, live in Hawaii. 102.9 W4 Country and Hardy, it's One Beer, and we are live in Honolulu this morning as we salute Michigan military stationed away from home, doing so much great for our country and for you and me. And Heather Rhodes is here from Bank of Ann Arbor, and Heather traveled with me last year, and Bank of Ann Arbor has been traveling with me several years. This year, because of COVID, this trip looks very different than it has in the past, and Heather is back in her office in Ann Arbor right now, but it was still important for Bank of Ann Arbor for this trip to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We didn't want to not sponsor this trip, and we didn't want you to not go. We were like, please let us at least do something to help. So this is a great morning with Ryan. I'm loving hearing all these stories and what he's gone through.
Absolutely amazing too, and this is important to Bank of Ann Arbor. You guys do a lot for veterans and a lot for the community.
Yeah, every year we do a really cool thing. We reach out to all of our employees and see who has someone in their life who's served or is serving, or even if themselves have served, and we kind of put together a little piece to kind of honor all of those people for Veterans Day. So that'll be coming out on our socials this week, and check it out. We've got some really cool stories out there.
Very cool. Thank you, Heather. Let's find out how our drive into work is going right ahead of your news. Madison Rowley has your W4 Country traffic. 102.9 W4 Country and Russell Dickerson, love you like I used to. In the Breakfast with Bubba show, saluting Michigan military this week. We find ourselves in Honolulu this morning, and we've got Bubba and Madison Rowley.
Good morning.
Oh, there's a little bit of happiness there. Is my Hawaiian cheer coming through the speaker?
Okay.
Now, see, you looked right at it and you scared that away.
Yeah, I heard just a little bit of a smile in her voice right there, and she's in the last couple of years joined me at the first stop that we've made, and
I've never been to Honolulu.
You've never been to Honolulu.
I've never been to Hawaii.
I'll take some pictures. If you go to my Facebook page,
because that'll be just like being there.
Picture.
You're struggling in this quicksand, Bubba. Mm-hmm. You need to stop.
I can't wait for those pictures, honey. Send them right over.
What's going on in the weather, Welch?
We're pretty sunny here. Highs in the low 70s.
More with Ryan Porter. More from Hawaii after Eric Church and Round Here Buzz. It's 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Round Here Buzz. It's Eric Church and the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu, Hawaii this morning. Thank you for listening along as we celebrate Michigan military that are serving away from home. We're here with Ryan Porter and his lovely wife and daughter, and we'll chat with her coming up in just a moment. She gave me a gift this morning that I'm going to be honest with you, I might have to re-gift it to Madison when you hear what it is. But Ryan is an interrogator, and you were first deployed to Iraq in 2007?
Yeah, 2007, 2008.
What was it like? I mean, what goes through your mind when you go through the training and you see the interrogations happening? What goes through your mind when you're there with they're not called suspects. What are they?
They're detainees.
Detainees. What went through your mind when you sat down across the table from the detainee?
The first time was I don't know how to phrase it. I mean, it was a holy crap moment.
Can they see the fear in your eyes? Because I'd be terrified that if I sat down, they'd see how scared I really was.
I guarantee you they could. And I mean, it was 2007. So I was 23 years old. I don't look very old at all. I can't grow facial hair to save my life. So I'm not very intimidating. And these grown men that are, they're Middle Eastern. So a lot of Middle Eastern, they have a lot of body hair. And so they all have mustaches. They all have beards. They all have, and I'm sitting there baby faced and probably looking scared out of my mind the first time that I was in the room with this guy.
It's interesting to me that facial hair would be the first that would enter your mind. Brian, there's a little bit of Brian Welch in him.
That's true. Yeah. I got some coming in right now, but only in the middle. Inside here, nothing happens.
Did your first interrogation go well, or was it? I mean, we could all look back. There are many of these shows that have been disasters, and I can say that freely. Or was it a disaster?
I mean, most of them were disasters. As talking to somebody who's, doesn't want to give you any information, a lot of the times you end up and it's just you spent 2 hours going around in circles. But for the few times that you do get something, it makes everything worth it.
It's kind of like this show, guys. We spend hours going around in circles.
This show, actually.
We're just facing so much opposition.
Somehow we've ended up with a ratings hit here, just going around in circles for hours. Let's find out how your driving to work is going with a check on your W4 Country traffic. Good as you. That's Kane Brown on 102.9 W4 Country and the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu. We're here with Ryan Porter, who was deployed to Iraq twice. Now, the first one was 2007, 2008. What was it like coming home? How long were you gone in that period?
The first deployment was 12 months.
And what was it like coming home? That had to feel good.
Oh, my goodness. You can't even describe it. Words can't describe it. They show homecoming videos all the time, and it's completely different as when you actually get to experience it for yourself. And it's been, over a year since you've seen your family. You've been in some of probably the worst conditions that you've ever been in at times. And just getting home and knowing that you don't have to worry about that anymore is absolutely amazing.
So when news of the second deployment rolled around, what was your attitude this time? Was it excitement or were you kind of disappointed?
It had been a few years in between deployments because I got home in 2007 and I didn't leave again until 2016. So by then, my first deployment, I only had my one son, and he was a year old at the time. So this deployment was a big change because my kids were all older. I had 3 kids at the time, and leaving them was probably one of the hardest things that I had to do because they were old enough to realize that, Dad's not going to be here for a while.
And was this deployment 12 months also? No,
this one was only 9 because the Army shortened the deployments, but they took away like the mid-tour leave.
Oh, so you were in Iraq for 9 months and not getting out of there.
Yes, that was correct.
Whereabouts in Iraq were you?
This time I was up in Mosul, and I worked for what is it called? Oh man, I blanked.
Don't worry. It's part of the show.
It's classified, I'm sure.
See, that's the beauty of being in the Army. If you blank, you could just say it's classified.
Yeah, it's classified.
It's classified. Cool. More with Ryan coming up. Lady A right now. Champagne Night is on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Champagne Night. It's Lady A and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. Bubba, Madison Rowley, Brian Welch. We have Ryan Porter here in the Army, his family. We have Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
You guys do the coolest thing for veterans at Bank of Ann Arbor around Veterans Day.
I think it's pretty cool. We learned about this program a few years ago called Green Light a Vet, and essentially a green light on your home or on your business is supposed to indicate that you are an ally and a supporter, and that your doors are open for help. So every year we have 3 of our branches that are lit in green for 24 hours around Veterans Day.
That is so cool and great support. And they're the sponsor of this trip right here, and they have some amazing support as well with that. Thank you guys for that. We're also brought to you by the VA Ann Arbor Healthcare System. Madison and Welch holding it back down in the studios, and Madison's got a check on your W4 Country traffic. Hey, Madison. Hey, it's just after 8 o'clock. Thank you for listening along on your Monday morning to my favorite week of broadcasts that we do here on the show. Michigan military working hard for us, stationed all around the world. This year, it's a domestic trip as we salute Michigan military with Bank of Ann Arbor from sea to shining sea on 102.9 in Blue Country. 102.9 W4 Country, and how I'll always be. It's Tim McGraw. Good morning. It's a Breakfast with Bubba show on a Monday, live in Honolulu. Bubba and Madison Rally.
Good morning.
And forecast.
Oh, you're breaking up just a little bit there, Bubba. It's sunny today, highs in the low 70s.
Is that any better, or do I need to adjust something?
You're better now.
Okay. It's it might have been that cold blast coming from Madison's voice.
Oh, well, there's only one way to warm that up.
Jewelry, right?
Ice.
So we have we're here with Ryan Porter and his lovely wife Jody, and his daughter joined us. What's your name?
Brindley,
How old are you, Brindley?
9.
How do you like living in Hawaii?
Sometimes good, but when COVID hit around, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good anywhere when COVID hit. Everything shut down and shut down here too. What's your favorite part about living in Hawaii?
Dolphins,
How often do you see dolphins?
not very often.
Oh my goodness, that'd be I thought maybe you saw them like jumping down the canal or something.
No.
No. Okay. Brindley gave me something absolutely beautiful when she walked into the room. She had me get down on my knee and put it over my head. What is this called?
A lay.
A lei? And what's it made out of?
Kakuna nuts.
Kakuna nuts. So Madison, you can see in the camera, they're painted with beautiful blue hibiscus too.
Yeah,
this
that's
is-
gorgeous.
Now I know this was a gift to me, and I appreciate that very much. But you'll understand this. You're 9. You understand this in about 4 or 5 years. I've got Madison a little angry at me. Would you mind if I re-gifted this to her?
No.
No. There you go, Madison.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Kukui nuts with blue hibiscus for you.
I can't wait.
All right. Something tells me Uncle Bubba's going to have to stop at the store at the airport and buy just a little bit more, but we'll get going from there. Let's find out what's going on in your traffic. Actually, Welch, did you give the forecast yet?
I believe I did, yes.
Okay.
Give it
We'll
again.
go-
if you like.
No, that's fine. It's like 70 and nice. We'll go to traffic right now. Madison Rally has a check on that. What's up? 102.9 W4 Country, and Luke Bryan, One Margarita, and the Breakfast with Bubba show in the morning. We are live in Honolulu this morning as we salute Michigan military station far away from home and some actually nearby home. This week, we're going to be traveling all over the U.S. Tomorrow is San Diego. We'll be with Madison. Listen to this for a military name, Dwayne Justice.
That's a great name.
Isn't that? I mean, if anything,
That really sounds like some kind of like undercover character in a
Like a
some
film noir
detective.
detective,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like like central casting came up with the name. Dwayne Justice will be on
Right.
tomorrow from San Diego. As soon as we're done here, I go to the airport and fly to San Diego. 5-hour flight, 2-hour time change means the rest of the day, poof, gone like that. We have Heather Rhodes from Bank of Ann Arbor joining us here, and this trip looks a little bit different. Last year at this time, you and I were going around the world.
Yes, we were. This is definitely different this year, but still is impactful.
I was bound and determined to do this. Originally, we were told we couldn't because we had a no travel COVID policy, which Heather's company still has, which is totally understandable. It got a little bit of a break in it a couple weeks ago, and we were off to the races. And we're cruising all around the U.S. this week on 102.9 W4 Country. Here's Dustin Lynch, where it's at. 102.9 W4 Country and Dustin Lynch, where it's at. You liking the music we're playing today?
My daughter loves the music. I'm a huge country fan as well.
Okay, very cool. So, Brindley, we're picking out the good songs for her. I'm glad she's approving there. It's the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu, brought to you by Bank of Ann Arbor and the VA Ann Arbor Healthcare System. And we're here with Ryan Porter. What is your favorite part about living in Hawaii?
The fact that I can wear shorts year round and nobody looks at me crazy.
That's true. That would be really nice. You could really limit what you have to do for the wardrobe, because I mean you're originally from the Midwest and you used to have several wardrobes.
I wore shorts anyways. People just gave me weird looks.
He was that guy.
He's that guy.
Who's
Yeah.
that guy?
He was that guy. I'm not cold. It's
All
not
right.
cold. Yeah. Well, it's 80 here and absolutely beautiful. What do you do for fun?
Watch Michigan sports, honestly.
Okay, so
How's that
Fun
going?
lately, but
you do you get out to the beaches or anything here?
we do as much as we can. And that's one of the great things about living here is that I don't have to drive far to go to the beach. Growing up, Hawaii was always one of those places that I wanted to go, but knew that we could never go as a family. And the fact that I'm here, living here for, 2-3 years, and I didn't have to pay a dime to move here is pretty amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. What is your favorite beach on Oahu?
My favorite beach on the island is probably Bellows Beach, which is an Air Force beach on the northeastern shore.
Yeah, a lot of people, if you go to Oahu where we are, if you don't get out of the city, you don't realize what a beautiful island this is when you get up on the north side of it and out of the city. That is cool. More with Ryan coming up. I can't believe we're almost through the first day already. This has gone fast.
How about that?
It's Chris Lane, Big Plans on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Chris Lane. I've got some big plans for you, Madison.
I can't wait.
We're going to start with the kukui nut lei.
Okay.
And you like stroopwafel, right?
I do.
Yeah, they give those out on United. That's why I flew here. So I got some stroopwafel for you.
Okay.
And we'll figure out.
You're just collecting all things that other people are giving you to give to me.
Yeah, I don't know what Alaska Airlines will give me to San Diego tonight, but whatever it is, honey, it's yours.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that's on the way. We're also joined with Heather Rhodes, who traveled with me last year. We had such a great time on the road last year. We were looking forward to doing it again this year. Unfortunately, things happened and we weren't able to, but I'm so glad you could join us on the broadcast. This week, saluting Michigan military is so important to Bank of Ann Arbor. Why?
We find it so important that we can be at least a little bit involved with saying thank you to these men and women who are all over the world, all over the country, keeping us all safe. We appreciate that, and this is just a small way we can say thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing us this broadcast as well. They underwrite a lot of what goes on here. Coming up, we've got Lee Brice, Taylor Swift, and we're going to wrap it up from Honolulu right now. Madison Raleigh has a check on your W4 Country traffic. 102.9 W4 Country and Lee Brice, one of them girls, and the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu. It's Bubba and Madison Raleigh.
Good morning.
Who isn't in Honolulu?
Aloha.
She's back in Ann Arbor.
Pressing.
I'm the only one part of this broadcast who's actually never been to Hawaii.
That's right. You're the only one who's never been here. Mm-hmm. Do you know this is my 49th time in this state?
And he doesn't know why you're upset with him. Like, he has no idea.
My favorite place on earth is right here in Hawaii. We have Brian Welch with the forecast.
Pretty sunny, highs in the low 70s.
What was your favorite part of going to Hawaii, Welch?
You know what? We did some really great zip lining. I know that sounds like kind of a touristy thing, but it was really cool, like through the trees and the mountains and everything. I really enjoyed that. Oh, and I went skydiving too. That was awesome.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's where I went skydiving.
Very, very cool. What was your favorite part of Hawaii, Heather?
We actually went to the Polynesian Cultural Center while we were there.
That's a cool place, yeah.
Amazing. I had no idea. We learned so much, and it was a full day that ended with a luau and the pork, and it was incredible.
Any day that ends with pork is incredible.
You're not wrong.
The magical pig. The magical pig. It's Taylor Swift right now. Mine on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Taylor Swift, Mine, and the Breakfast with Bubba show live in Honolulu. And we're here with Ryan Porter. Thank you so much for allowing your time to come up here and be a part of this.
Absolutely. It's been a great time.
All right. Who told us about you? Do you know?
I don't, but Jody does.
A friend of Jody's did that, and I know this is always kind of weird because you start getting texts from me and messenger things, and it's like, meet me in my hotel room. Here's where I am, and that's where we do.
I work for the radio. Come talk to me.
I'm always amazed year after year that we're able to pull this off. I mean, Heather, you've been part of this. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't have that see-through bathroom thing that is apparently a thing of the past from Japan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Japan with the see-through bathrooms. That was that was fun. What are your plans in the Army? Is it going to be a career for you?
I only have 4 years left till I retire. So
how old are you?
I'm 36.
Oh my gosh! Oh, you look like you're 26.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's good in society, bad when you're an interrogator, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. And so do you plan on spending the full 4 years here? You want to go back to Kansas, right?
We're trying to leave in the summertime so my oldest son can start high school, and then we plan to finish and stay there wherever the next duty station is until the little one graduates high school as well, so they don't have to move since we've moved them around enough. At least high school can be constant.
How do you bring a sense of normalcy to the family when you are moving so much?
It's just at this point they're veterans of this. They've moved. The oldest one has moved every duty station with us, and even the youngest one, she was born in Fort Riley the first time we were there. So this is her 1, 2, third move with us, and it's just they. There are times when they don't like it because they leave their friends, they have to find new activities, but getting to see new things and new places is been entirely worth it for all of them, and they can say that they have friends all around the world.
Absolutely. It's an amazing education to do that. We're going to take a quick break right here and check your traffic. We'll wrap up the show coming up in a few minutes. A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. More music for your workday on the way right now. Madison Raleigh has a check on your W4 Country traffic. Luke Combs and Beautiful Crazy on 102.9 W4 Country. I cannot believe the first broadcast is almost in the books. This is my favorite segment where you get to say hi to whomever you'd like to back in Michigan. Ryan, who do you want to say hi to?
My brother Kevin and his family in Bloomfield Hills.
Very good. How about you?
My mom and dad, Alan and Dawn Schultz in Gibraltar, Michigan.
Thank you, Jody and Brinley. I'm sure you have a couple of hellos. Who do you want to say hi to?
My grandma Schultz in Romulus, Michigan.
Very cool. Thank you so much. We'll wrap up the show coming up next. Chris Stapleton, Starting Over, is on 102.9 W4 Country. 102.9 W4 Country and Starting Over. Madison, that's what I'd like to do with you. I feel like we got this broadcast off on the wrong foot.
I'll give you an opportunity.
Okay. I'm coming bearing gifts, a beautiful painted kukui nut lei for you.
Okay, I can't wait. You know, I will say that sock is kind of making my day.
if you're just tuning in, I forgot to pack a windscreen, so I have our microphone wrapped in a clean sock.
You look like you're talking into a foot.
It is a clean sock. Don't worry. It smells like bounce. And Heather, I do wish you were traveling with me this week.
Me too.
But you're going to be joining us for every single broadcast. Welch, thank you so much for keeping everything rolling back at the station. I'm getting ready to get on a plane in just about 4 hours from now, and fly to San Diego, where tomorrow we're going to be on with Dwayne Justice, live from San Diego tomorrow morning, right here on 102.9 W4 Country. Ryan, thank you so much for coming up and being part of the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And from all of us working here in Hawaii, aloha. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning on 102.9 W4 Country.